I thrift to flip and I thrift for my own stuff. So here's 3 thrift stores I went to. Can work on this one's a little bit better than the last one, as I really tried to make sure you guys could see all this stuff. Today we start at Salvation Army. Thank you. So Salvation Army has really good prices, but their selection isn't always the best. But it's these kinds of thrift stores where you generally find the biggest gems, because not a lot of people come here for like trendy thrifting, if you will. So you can find some gems, especially in the book section. If you're a book nerd, there's great books in places like this, and most thrift stores actually you can get pretty lucky, except for whatever reason I don't think Goodwill generally has great books. But this is where you can find a lot of like wood carving stuff. I am not hugely knowledgeable about wood art, but I do know how to sort of identify if it was handmade, if it was worth anything. You gotta try to find a signature on it. There is a lot of copies that were like made out of China or Taiwan or whatever that aren't really worth anything. They're basically just decor pieces from like TJ Maxx or Target or something. And you can definitely tell like with the quality, generally speaking, but you can also tell like this one. This was the piece that it's signed. I'm going to look that artist up later, but it's signed and dated from 1985. And it's unique and cool, and this is the kind of thing I look for, because if I ever do open a vintage shop or something, I'll have a bunch of small stuff to put in it. Right now I'm just collecting small stuff mostly for myself, and then I do sell on my Instagram occasionally some of this cool small stuff I've collected. I always look at the mugs. Me and my wife just have a collection of ceramic mugs we have. A lot of them are from thrift stores. Sometimes we sell those too. I have a booth at a vintage store that I sell the little stuff at too sometimes, and mugs tend to do okay. So here are all the lamps. I don't know a ton about lamps either. I do know that if you are actually trying to make a quick dollar, lamps can be pretty great. That banker's lamp was $7. I ended up buying it. Gold one on the bottom there, and I sell those for about $40. So quick, like little amount of money to do for sure. This thrift store, like those were a decent price on the North Face snow pants. Had a bunch of Red Wing pants, brand new, that were donated. And we found a few things for ourselves. I found a little ceramic vase, the banker's lamp, and then that little bit of artwork. Coffee break. This is a cool coffee shop, relatively close, Arctos Coffee. In Spokane there that we like to go to. So this is a thrift store. It's called Global Thrift, but it's got a vintage section. This was just going because I wanted to show you guys a bunch of cool stuff. And sometimes they have stuff I can flip, but pretty rarely, just because the prices are so high here. But they do have, like, if you're looking for clothes in a vintage store type environment, it's good.
Looks cozy.
Right. Like, look, I would have definitely bought this jacket right here. It says a rainier down. Really cool jacket. Unfortunately, the front was super stained, or I would have bought it. I don't think that it was the kind of stains that you can get out very easily. They did have like a Filson jacket here for $280. They get good brand name stuff, but you're looking at mostly eBay prices. The vintage jackets that don't have brand names that are still cool, you can buy. Their furniture and decor section is awesome. Again, you're more like, if you're going there to thrift, you're going to be a little bit deceived of the prices. They do get cool stuff, and they hold on to their cool stuff for longer because of the prices. And their whole thing is that they reach out and they help immigrants and things like that, I believe, and refugees. But they get all this stuff donated for free, and they are competing with like vintage stores in town, so they have an edge over that. And I think that the vintage stores in town aren't super thrilled with what they're doing. But I don't know. I don't know enough about it to say one way or the other, to be honest. I do know they get a lot of cool stuff. Like, they always have cool ceramic stuff here. And you're paying more than you would in a thrift store, but that was only $6, I believe. And they got that cool bowl. I would have bought that bowl down there. I did try to buy this. I was in line for it, but the line was super long, so I ended up putting it back because it was the only thing I ended up getting here. And these stools, I believe, are article, and it says they're in like the vintage section, but they're article, and they're $125 a piece. Let's see if you guys get an idea of what they charge for furniture. I mean, cool stools, but not what you're looking for when you're going thrifting. These chairs were $60 a piece, I think. Nothing really special, just vintage chairs.
Okay.
Oh, wow. How much are all these?
I can't find a price tag.
I'm gonna ask.
They look pretty nice.
This is actually an article set. I ended up getting the price. It was $2,000 for the set. It's fairly expensive for, again, I don't know who's going to a thrift store wanting to spend $2,000 on a couch and chairs. Fun looking, but didn't end up buying anything. Very expensive for a thrift store. And Union Mission Gospel. Or Union Gospel Mission. That's interesting. Very reliably, they have a ton of furniture here. Comfy, yeah, sure. It's not bad. $70. Let's see, is it dovetail jointed? If you're refinishing as a side hustle, you're definitely able to find stuff here you can refinish and paint or whatever and make some money on. Not quite the stuff I'm looking for a lot of the time, but I found some pretty good stuff here. I found a stressless lounger here for $60 that I sold for like $800. So definitely has some great stuff in it. Oh, those are nice. I don't know if they're worth $70. And these are the kind of chairs that I now stay away from because I have to transport everything to Seattle from Spokane, and I need to be making a certain amount of money per like foot of trailer I take up. And making $100 each on those chairs takes up too much room in the trailer to actually make good money on. So I did not end up buying them, but I would have, like 3 or 4 months ago, I would have done that. I don't flip exercise equipment. I know a lot of people do. It's pretty hard to find reliably good exercise equipment at thrift stores, so not something I would really recommend. Lamps, again, if you got a decor store or you've just got a presence online and you deal with lamps, those people do make a good amount of money. Same with pottery. I don't know enough about any of it to really make a lot of money, but I do love the way some of it looks, and I do buy for myself a lot of it. The store has a lot of like African influenced items, but I do think a lot of it is just trying to do replicas. I'm not exactly sure what this was. It was as is $54. But as is means they found something that was broken on it, probably. And then I didn't really want to look up exactly if there was an artist associated with it or anything at $54. And this is $6 and not really, probably mass produced. Once you start to get a feel for things, you can generally tell within a few seconds of picking them up, but sometimes you do just need to look for like a signature. If you're wanting to just find a piece of art and then see if it's worth anything, or if you just like it, you can just like it. That line has been there for like weeks. I thought about buying it, but never did. Potentially cool decor stuff. This has a signature on the bottom, which means it was handmade, I believe, and very cool looking piece. So taking that, might resell, might keep it. Keep a lot of pottery. What I'm really looking for is the big pieces of furniture that I can make a lot of money on. All the other small stuff is just for fun. And then this, also I spotted, this is a very common style of ceramic pottery thing that's handmade. So I checked it out. And there's the signature on the bottom from 1985. So we're gonna buy that as well. If it's really hard to make out the signature, it's probably not like anybody significant, quote unquote. There's also these Harley Davidson watches, 3 of them. I know people love Harley Davidson, so I took videos of it. I have no idea what they're worth. And by significant, I just mean to, collectors. If you like it, you like it. It's art. You should get it if it's worth it to you. I found a Pendleton blanket here a few weeks ago. Vintage bowl blankets are generally worth okay money, but this one was ripped up. So, didn't find any blankets. Mirrors are also a really margins wise, mirrors can be fantastic. But here I found actually several like gold vintage mirrors here before. I've made money on this time, nothing. That's a Target mirror up there, or something like Target. Now this is really cool. I just moved places and I need to set up my wood shop. And so finding this book was awesome. They had a lot of really cool coffee books here, coffee table books. And coffee table books, like the really big ones with big pictures of your interest and stuff, generally run quite a bit. So definitely looking through these for me. We've got a few cool ones. Vincent van Gogh will be that. Now this is where I geeked out. I love space. And the book is in really solid shape. It's just got full color pages of photos taken from the Hubble telescope and explaining. So I definitely bought that one. Got stuff from the Beatles. I mean, the books here were actually all relatively good priced. I think you could probably resell a lot of this. I don't resell books, but I think you could. Savannah was able to find a few jackets for herself that she liked. I got this also hardback copy of Lord of the Rings. I liked. I lost all my Lord of the Rings books in high school, but I did read them all, so I'm a pretty big fan. Also found that Pendleton shirt for myself for $25. Yeah, this is what I ended up getting there. Didn't get a whole lot this trip. And so here's the Hubble Space Telescope book that I got, my favorite find of the thrift store hunt. Normally I try to go to around 10 thrift stores. This time was only 3, but I figured I better film it anyways for you guys. And it's just got a lot of cool information, a lot of full color printouts of images from the Space Telescope Hubble, and it's a really quality hardback. So definitely my favorite find. Weirdly enough, normally it's not a book that's my favorite find, but this was today my favorite find. This is a sculpture you guys can see a little bit closer of. I don't know exactly what he did to it besides just get a piece of wood, but it looks like he made, he obviously planed that wood and mounted it and everything, but it's G. Lovejoy Jr. who made that. But it looks kind of like a fish coming out of water, I think is what it's supposed to be. And this beauty, the glaze on it is super cool. And here's a closer look at the signature if you guys are interested. The Pendleton shirt I got fits generally pretty well. Arm's a little short. And last, this piece of pottery. If you guys are interested in vintage or thrifting, give me a sub and we're going to do a lot more of this because you guys seem to like these thrift store videos.